Look what's back. The 1987 Tecate 4. Produced in only 87 and 88. In 87, 3,500 were produced. In 88, only about 1,500. And on the VIN, you can see the last 4 digits. 1600. So this is the 1600th Kawasaki Tecate ever made. And these things are very, very rare. I was offered $7,000 for this one, and prices keep on going up on them. They're getting harder and harder to find. Parts are getting more rare. Parts are getting harder and harder to find, and very expensive for these. So it's good to have a complete one. If you ever find one for cheap, go and pick it up, because they're just going for crazy prices. I picked up this one maybe, what was it, 3 years ago, for $2,000. Got a really good deal on it. I don't think it ran at the time, so I had to put it all back together. And then I actually rebuilt it 2 years ago, put a fresh top end on it. And then what else did I do to it? I think I fixed the kickstart mechanism on it as well. So it needed a new spring, kind of like that fire bike over there. But anyway, I haven't ridden this thing for over a year. I figured it was a good time to do some maintenance on it. We've got to do oil change. I haven't done oil change in over 2 years on it. I haven't ridden it too much, but it's time for an oil change. And then a carb clean for sure. This thing's been sitting for so long. But this thing's pretty nice. You can see all original, except for a couple updated parts on it. We've got the aluminum, looks like it's PRM products, aluminum grab bar in the back. We've got the FMF pipe, full FMF pipe and silencer on it. The bars are stock, might have to update those. And then A-arms are stock. The wheelbase on these are very, very narrow, making the handling not so good. And that's kind of why this thing went out of production. The Banshee came into production and kind of wiped this thing away. This was, at the time, I think it might be now still, the fastest 250 quad ever made. These things topped out at like 75 miles an hour stock, and they would hang with Banshees. Banshees are 350cc, but the Banshee's handling is a lot better, and that's kind of why these things went out of production. The Banshee was just an all-around better machine, and the hype at the time, everyone wanted the Banshee, and this was kind of the outdated quad. So everyone went to the Banshee and bought those, so Yamaha kind of ruined the Tecate 4 sales. But like I said before, these were produced in 87 and 88, and only a couple were made in 88 before going out of production. So these tires are going to be amazing in the sand. All my land is pretty much sandy, so this thing should tear up the trails pretty good. And then one unique thing about this quad is it's got the headlight that folds down. So these are kind of cool. So push that in a little bit. Sometimes these are finicky. It's not the, oh there we go. So you can see that's what it looks like with it closed. And you push that red button right there, it pops back up. Kind of a unique thing to the Kawasaki Tecate 4. I don't think the 3s had it, the 3-wheelers, but yeah, this one's pretty nice. I do have back plastics for it as well. They're up in my storage up there, and that's when these get bad, I'll throw those on there, but for now those are fine for riding and stuff. But yeah, this thing, like I said, hasn't been started in over a year. Let's check and see if there's any gas in it. I can't remember if I drained it or not. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, she's completely empty in there. All right, we'll add some premix to it. For this one, I add 40-1. And it's been doing good so far for about 2 years since the rebuild. There is a Pro X piston in there. And a new kickstart spring, because the same thing happened on this one. Those springs tend to break off and the kickstart mechanism goes out. So I fixed that, fixed the piston, and this thing starts right up. So I don't know if it needs a carb clean or not. We will find that out today. I'm guessing it does because it's been sitting for about a year. So let's get some gas in it and see if she fires up here. Fire up after sitting for a year. We will see. We're gonna do a couple prime kicks with the ignition off just to lube up that cylinder because it's been sitting for so long. I'm gonna open the throttle and just kick it a couple times just so you get some of that oil and gas mixture into the jug. What the heck? I just snapped off the kickstart. What the heck? Oh, does that suck? Kickstart just snapped right off. Oh man. I don't think that can be fixed either. Goes on there just like that. What the heck? Oh, does that suck? Now we can't even ride this thing. We've got to order up a new kickstart for it. Wow. That really, really sucks. Alright, you can see where it snapped off right here. Not sure why it would do that. It's never done that before. And then here's the piece. I'll show you guys a close-up. This like bolt type thing that goes through. Just snapped right off right there. So maybe we can weld that up, or at least try. I don't know if that's gonna hold. Yeah, we might have to order up a new part for that. Alright, first thing you want to check is the coolant. Make sure there's some in there. That looks like it's topped off there. See, it's right at the top. So coolant checks out. That's good. Alright, next I want to check the oil. So on these, there is not a dipstick, but there is an oil window. It's right there. Kind of hard to see. Looks like it's completely filled. Yeah. In the window, it looks like the oil is filled up completely. There's definitely oil in it. But let's see the drain bolt for it. The drain bolt for it's right underneath the engine. See if I can show you guys. It's right there. It is right there. There's the drain bolt. Alright, looks like it's a 14mm bolt. Right, they came off fairly easily. pretty clear actually. That is pretty clear coming out of there. Doesn't look too bad. Wow, that's surprisingly good. We'll see if there's any milkiness in it. I think we did replace the water pump seal on this as well at one point, if I remember correctly. But we'll let this drain out for a little bit, come back and check to see what that oil looks like. The crush washer is pretty bad. Clean that bolt off and then we'll replace it with a brand new crush washer there. Alright, here's the oil. You can see not milky or anything. No metal chunks or pieces in there. Alright, let's get some fresh oil in here. It takes 1.15 liters, so a little bit more than a quart. Open that up. Alright, 1 quart going in, and then we'll top it off with a little bit more. Just using 10W40 wet clutch oil. The window is all the way filled up, so oil change is good to go. Alright, so this quad you can see didn't start up right away. It's always been kind of hard starting, but once it's warm it always starts. So let's tear into that carburetor. I haven't done this in like 3 years, so let's just see what's going on in that carb. Alright, I was able to take off the 2 side plastic pieces, and now we've got an opening to work on the carburetor. And then you can get to the spark plug from over on this side, sitting right in there. So pretty easy access. Let's see if I can get everything to come off here. I remember I had to make like a custom boot for this, for the air filter. So this is the updated carburetor for the Tecate 4. It's a Key-in carb. The original one on it was not very good. So these are supposed to give it a big performance upgrade. Supposedly. I'm not sure if it's actually true. But you can see it was running pretty rich. You can see oil coming out of here. Yeah, there's the carburetor. Let's start digging into that, see what we find. Alright, let's see what's going on in here. Take a look at the inside of the carburetor and then at the jetting as well, and just see what it's at. It just sometimes starts hard. All right, let's take a look. There we go. Ooh, she's pretty clean in there. I use premium gas, so that's probably why. We'll still blow it out, but it's not looking too bad so far. We'll take a look at everything, just make sure everything is good. Everything feels really smooth so far. I always check for gas. These can develop pinholes, and gas can get in there, weigh it down, and it won't run right. So always check your float for pinholes. That's good. Needle's very rubbery still on the tip, making a good seal. That looks good. You can see the seat in there is all clean. Right in here. No debris in there. Let's take a look at the pilot jet. We are running a 55 for the pilot. She was a little clogged, but eventually it cleared out. So we might change that. I'm gonna look at settings online and just see what people are running. I might change the main jet too. Just because there's a little hesitation down low. So for the main, we're running a 160 main. I might change that as well. We will see. And then for the air screw, we were 1, 2, about 2 1/4, turns out. On the air screw, should be a spring in there as well. There we go. All right. And we'll get the choke mechanism out of there. Let's check that out. See if that's working the way it's supposed to be working. Looks good. Just kind of look down there. Everything looks pretty clean. Alright, so that's basically it for the carburetor. Pretty simple carburetor, not much to it. Blow out all these passages with compressed air and some carb cleaner and we should be all set to go. Alright, so doing a little research. Got the calipers out here. Zero this thing out. Looks like we're running it's about a 40 millimeter Keihin PWK carburetor, and a lot of people are saying that's too big for the Tecate 4. They say that you're going to get a lot of top end power and not a lot of low end. And I've been noticing that as well. So they said 36 is like the perfect size if you want low end and a little bit of top end. So maybe eventually down the line we'll change that out, but for now we're just going to keep everything the same. I couldn't find any information on what jet size to use. These seem to be working pretty good. Haven't blown it up yet, knock on wood. But so the 55 Pilot and the 160 are probably fine for this carburetor. I'm not going to mess with it because there's zero information on what jetting to use for this thing in a Tecate 4. So I'll just use what came with the carburetor, and I think those came with the carburetor. And hopefully the cleaning will help it start up a little bit easier. If anyone has a 40 millimeter PWK Keyhin carburetor on their Tecate 4 from 87. Please let me know what you guys are running for jetting, because I'd like a little bit more bottom end, but I might have to get a new carburetor for that. Alright, carburetor is all clean, back installed. Let's check out the air filter next. And the air filter's off. That probably went out. How'd that come off of there? Oh, the bolt came loose, but that's supposed to be on there. Like so. So maybe that's why I was running kind of weird. Alright. We're going to, this is all oiled up and everything. I remember installing this now. But we're going to put a little grease around here. You can see there's some already on there, but we'll grease that up and then reinstall this. Alright, air filter's back on. That's why it's always good to do maintenance. Alright, next we're going to get the plug out of here. I already kind of got it loose. It is kind of a tight fit to get the plug out. There. Because the pipe's kind of right in the way. Just want to see how it's running. If it's brown, that means we're good. If it's black, it's rich. If it's white, it's lean. This is an NGK BR8ES plug. Ooh, it's very dark brown. It's not black, it's dark brown. So it's running pretty good. So I think our jetting is pretty spot on for that carburetor. I just wish I had a little bit more low end power, but that carburetor is putting in so much fuel. Top end's really good, but low end is, could be better. Let's put it that way. But the plug looks good. So that is all good to go. Try to weld that piece to that piece. So hopefully we can, and it still has to pivot. So should be interesting. I looked it up online. This part is non-existent, and the kickstart is going for $250 for the kickstart. So that was a $250 break right there. That sucks. So hopefully we can repair it. Alright, well, we got her fixed. I don't know if that's going to withstand much. I had to grind down a bunch of it. And all the pressure is on this rod right here. So hopefully that weld holds up. I highly doubt it's going to, just because it's such a thin weld. But it works. You can hear it clicking into place with that ball bearing in there. So we'll install it and just see what happens, I guess. And it broke right off. Oh, that sucks. Wow, that really sucks. All that work and it broke right off again. Oh, God. I don't know what to do now. You know what I might do? Just weld this sucker right onto the kickstart mechanism. Might weld that and then weld that right on. Might be sticking out, but that's fine. At least we can start it. Alright, just welded that up. That's not going to go anywhere. Alright. Let's get this on here. This is just going to go like this. Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't break. If that breaks, we've got some big problems. That's pretty strong. I don't think it's gonna break. Maybe I'll put a couple more reinforcements right there. All right. Well, that's how you fix that. Let's try this again. sounds pretty good. All right, well, our starting issue is gone. Starts right up. So that pilot jet must have been clogged just a little bit. But yeah, the kickstart is fixed. It's a little dangerous to ride with it out like that. But let's go head out and take this thing for a test drive. All right, made her out here. Back at the land here. Gonna hit some trails up. And I've never really ridden this too hard on trails. So we'll see how it likes the sand today. Listen to how quiet it is out here. Very quiet. There's like not a sound. Just one bird over there. But yeah, it's nice not having any noise out here. I think the Tecate 4 is a little bit more fun than the 400EX, which is saying something because the 400EX is pretty fun. But this one, the two-stroke, I mean, you really can't beat it. So I highly recommend, if you have the chance to pick one of these guys up, do it. You will not regret it. So fun. Alright, let's see if she starts up. Come on, baby. There we go. She's already warm. Here we go. Yeah. I bet the Honda 400EX is a little better in the woods, but we will see. through here. It's gonna hurt. Go this way. Ooh. Fucking me around pretty good. Woo. She gets up to speed pretty fast. Needs some better suspension, that's for sure. Not going back down this path. That was a little too narrow last time. Right here. I think it's right here. Where the heck is it? Nope. There we go. Big rock. Woo! You do have to keep the RPMs kind of high on this thing. Otherwise it will kind of bog down. Good corner right there. Woo! Woo! Oh yeah. Alright, well that was a fun day of riding. It's getting dark out now, and I took it for a couple more rides around the trails, getting those trails broken in. We'll have to make some more through the woods here coming up. I need a skid steer to do that job, but yeah, pretty soon we'll be making a track. It'll be pretty fun. But yeah, the Tecate 4 didn't let us down today. except for that Kickstarter, but we got her fixed up nice and welded now. And guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video. And until next time, we are out.